statement, but I think an amplification of what you just said on systems loss. Sa akin pong pagkakaintindi rin, yung system loss kahit na dalawang klase pa yon, yung technical and non-technical, to me, they should be considered as legitimate business risks. Hindi kailanman pwedeng i-justify yon simply because ang mga players po sa energy sector, mapa-distribution, transmission or generation, Madam Chair, they all decided to go into this venture knowing all the risks involved. And one of those risks are the technical and non-technical aspects of system loss. Bakit ipapasa nyo sa tao yon, considering that alam ninyo lahat nung nagpasya kayo na gumawa, magbenta ng kuryente, ang mga stockholders were all knowledgeable na meron po tayong risk dito, meron pong nawawala. Kumbaga sa tubig, kagaya ng sinabi ng ating chairperson, yung tinatawag na non-water revenue. Kasi may tumutulo talaga eh. Bakit po niyo ipababayad sa tao yon? That cannot be justified. That's number one. Number two, sinabi po ng Korte Suprema in one of the landmark cases, any expense that the distribution utility in producing and distributing energy which did not inure to the benefit of the consumers is unjustified and inequitable. Paano po natin kukontrahin yun? Tama naman yun eh. I think these are the two major factors or major legal basis why the system loss ay kailangan na nating tanggalin na binabayaran po ng mga consumers. Unless anybody here is in a position to contradict those positions. Doubted by the chairperson and rendered unjustified by this representation. Kung meron pong gustong kumontra na po kayo ngayon. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Senator Marcoleta. Would the Senate President like to make a statement? I was already able to share what you sent me last night about the 80-year-old father who died because there was no electricity to allow him to use the nebulizer.
Magandang tanghali, Madam Chair. Senator Marcoleta, I thank both of you and everyone in the room for your work on having more reliable, efficient supply of electricity or power, and also lowering the price. As you know, there's major developments even before the Iran-Israel US war, wherein the World Bank was convinced to start lending for nuclear, which they haven't done in a long time because of the fear that China will be leaps and bounds ahead of the Western world when it comes to AI, because AI requires so much power, no? And even before that, we have had problems with grids, with islands, with the energy mix and everything. So the only statement I want to make, Madam Chair, is two. Number one, hindi totoo na may delays under our administration. In fact, even after the shooting incident and attack against the Senate nung Wednesday, may BICAM ng Thursday on the voucher system sa House of Representatives, and I actually confirmed my attendance, pero sila ang nag-postpone nun. Yung pagpunta ng farmers dito, sila din ang nag-postpone. So I thank you for pushing through with this hearing. The second thing I want to mention is that, as you all know, the chairperson is my sister. So we share the same culture and language coming from one family. And we all know, pagka-crisis, iba yung kilos. Di ba? So kung may exam bukas, kailangan mo mag-cram. Di ba? Kung bukas ang bayaran ng kuryente at hindi mo pa hawak ang pera, kailangan mong gawan ng paraan. So given the present crisis, it's actually an opportunity. Because things that we wouldn't have think of no? Whether it's the loans for new power plants, whether it's joint exploration, or whether it's Philippine side lang na exploration of oil and gas, whether it's the bills of Senator Marcoleta regarding the lifeline rates, etc. Yung mga to hindi natin iisipin kung hindi crisis di ba? I'll give you an example sa Hindi Power. Sa K-12, nagdagdag tayo ng 2 years, pero sa findings mismo ng EDCOM, wala pang equivalent ng 8 years ang pagpasok ng mga bata. Okay? So nung K-10 tayo, kindergarten plus 10 years. Nakaka 10 years sila plus kindergarten. Nung nag-K-12, bumaliktad. Ang equivalent lang is 7 point something, less than 8 years. So this crisis give us the opportunity na tanggalin ba natin 1 o 2 grade sa senior high school? Ganon din sa agriculture. Of course, we're doing a lot. Diba? But hindi kumikita yung farmers Of course, we're giving subsidies sa logistic, pero nabubulok yung pagkain na walang nangyayari, no? So I just like to encourage the room to really, I know gas-gas na yung think out of the box, di ba? Pero kapag ka may crisis, pati yung box mawawala pag hindi tayo kumilos ng doble, triple, no? So I know it's not a one-day session, one hearing, finding solutions, but I really hope that it's not the statistics, di ba? I sent that to my sister because numbers remain to be a statistic until you have a human face, di ba? So nung tinext na hindi nakapag-nebulize dahil walang kuryente na matay, I hope we put a human face to our powers energy, no? And I'm not going to blame anyone in the room, no? Not the DOE, not the National Grid, not ourselves. I'm just saying crisis. Let's find a way to get something done. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Ay imposan nung kaukulang generation and transmission charges. So, kalintulad po ito, halimbawa, nagnenegosyo kayo, bumili kayo, nag-wholesale kayo, bumili kayo ng 1,000 isda, bangus, 1 banyerang bangus. Ang gastos nyo ay 8 piso kada ulo ng bangus. Ang kabuang gastos nyo ay 8 pesos kada ulo ng bangus. Pero dito sa banyerang nakuha nyo, hindi naman lahat yan, hindi naman 1,000 bangus ang may bebenta nyo. Kaya halimbawa, 5% niyan ang hindi nyo talaga mabebenta dahil bilasana o sirana o maaring kinupit ng tindera nyo. Ito pong kabuang 1,000, halimbawa may 5% na nawawala or na hindi nyo na ibebenta, 950 lang talaga ang kabuuan na inyong nabebenta. Kung kayo ang magbebenta nito at gusto nyo balik puhunan lang yung 8,000 na inyong ginastos para do sa 1,000 na bangus na yan, magkano nyo ibebenta? Definitely hindi 8 yung original na per unit price. Isasama nyo dito yung spoilage, di ba? In manufacturing, kasama yan. Kaya kung ang may bebenta nyo lang kandidad ay 950, per unit cost niyan ay hindi 8, but 842. Yung 0.42 na yan po ang sumasalo doon sa gastos ng system loss. Ngayon, bakit hindi na lang distribution utility ang sasagot nito? Ang distribution utility po, hindi yan ang negosyo. Ang kanya pong negosyo ay yung maghatid ng kuryente sa pamamagitan ng mga linya na ipinapatayo niya. Ngayon, kaninong negosyo ito? Sa generation company. Kaya nga, ang distribution utility, pinapass through lang yan. So, dun po sa mga komento na dapat ay sagutin niya ng distribution utility, yes, merong portion yan ang ipinasasagot ng batas sa distribution utility. Kasi lumabis na doon sa itinakdang system loss cap, yung gastos na na-incur niya for its actual system losses. So, yan po ang nature ng system loss, kaya't mayroon tayong charge para mabawi yon, yung gastos na yon. Ang bumabawi ang distribution utility, pero ibinabayad din niya yan sa generation company at sa transmission company kasi nga po ito ay pass-through charges. So,
Chair,
yes po.
nakuha na natin ang ibig mo sabihin. Kahit na simplistic yung example mo, susundan kita ron eh. Ang example mo ay isang banyera ng bangus. Okay. So dahil sa merong loss doon, maaaring kinupit ng tindera o kaya biglang kahit na yung bangus ay hilado na pero lumundag pa rin, ano? Palagay mo lang ganun na nangyari. Ito yung mga factors na kaya kailangan makuha mo yung loss, yun ang sinasabi mo, okay. Sa mga tweet, yung banyera ng bangus na yon, kasama ng loss na yon, binenta mo sa supermarket A. Dahil siya na yung magdi-distribute. Tama? Yung generation, nasa sa'yo na, binenta mo sa supermarket A. Yung consumer ngayon, meron siyang option. Pupunta siya sa supermarket B o kaya C. Bakit kanya mas mataas yung bangus dito sa supermarket A? Pumunta siya sa B, medyo mura ng konti, ng 150 for example, or 1 peso, o kaya sa supermarket C, mas mura din. Doon siya bibili. Tama?
Ito pong system,
Teka muna, sagot ka muna. Siyempre, may option yung consumer. Nung makita niya, dahil binenta mo rito sa supermarket ganitong price, meron siyang option na mamili sa ibang supermarket. Tama?
kung ang pinag-uusapan po natin
Sumagot
dito,
ka muna. Tama o hindi? Ba't tayo mo sumagot?
tayo po kasi as captain.
Hindi, sasagot ka muna.
Opo.
Tinatanong lang, napakasimple eh. Pumunta siya sa supermarket, ito yung presyo. Pumunta sa B and C, ito yung presyo. Makakapamili siya, di ba? Madam Chair, ba't hindi siya makasagot?
Opo,
Okay.
doon sa example niyo po.
Okay, kaya kita tinatanong ng ganon. Sa kuryente, hindi sila may makakapamili. Wala kang ibang pupuntahan. Isa lang ang supermarket. Tama o hindi? Opo, sumagot ka. Yun ang problema eh. Huwag din yung gagamitin yung ibang perishable commodities. Pumunta ka sa isang supermarket, meron daga na kumakain sa mga produkto. It's a loss. Merong mga nagnanakaw doon. Nangyayari yun every day. It's a loss. Hindi lang mga outsiders. Maring yung sarili mong nagtatrabaho doon, nagbubulsa. So loss lahat ito eh. Yung supermarket, yung loss na yun, hindi niya ipapataw doon sa prevailing price ng kanilang produkto. Kasi yung consumer has the option to go to other outlets. In the case of electricity, Madam Chair, wala silang option eh. This is our problem. Kaya pinipilit ko kanina, and I thank you very much, Attorney Juan, nung sinabi mo, ay yung system loss, as you said, is an inherent operational characteristic. Inherent talaga to eh. Hindi mo mayaalis na mayroong mawawala. But this inherent operational loss is already admitted. It is known to all stakeholders bago kayo nagpasya na gumawa at mag-distribute ng kuryente. So it is a legitimate business risks that every industry should recognize. Ba't naman ang energy sector lang hindi nagre-recognize ng risks? Lahat ng industries have risks. Maski insurance company who cover for risks, meron din silang risk. Ito yung problema na madali naman nating intindihin. Madali naman nating gawa ng paraan. Di amend natin yung Republic Act 7832, ganun lang kasimple yun eh. Let's remove the system laws. As simple as that. Isang maliit na amendment lang ang gagamitin mo doon. And one thing more, Madam Chair, tingnan mo na lang yung universal charge. Tama yung sinabi ng chairperson. Yung universal charge, nandun, in order for us to bankroll certain areas na kailangan lahat silang ma-electrify, lahat makakita ng liwanag. Tama naman yun. That's not the objective of the government. Pero naglalaban sila nung feed-in tariff and JAP. Kasi yung feed-in tariff is supposed to capitalize the government's program para sa ganun, mas marami tayong renewables ma-operate. Kung marami tayong renewables, nagagamitin sa lahat ng lugar ng ating bansa, o di ba baba yung universal charge? Kasi, hindi naman, at some point in time, yung universal charge, bumababa hanggang sa eventually mawala na. If we succeed on the renewables. Ang problema, sinasabi lang natin, by 2030, ganyan puro forma, by 2030, parang 40% yata, Madam Chair, renewable na tayo lahat. By 2040, 50% ang renewable. Diyos ko. Ay, hindi naman tayo papunta dun eh. So, magano tayo, ito yung sabi ko nga po, ulitin ko, Madam Chair, Korte Suprema na po ang nagsabi. Any expense incurred by the distribution utility which did not inure to the benefit of the consumers is unjustified and inequitable. Which part of that sentence is not understood to everyone?
Madam Chair, gaya ng nasabi ko, yung distribution utility ay hindi engaged sa pagnenegosyo ng pag-generate ng kuryente.
Tama po,
Kaya
kaya
hindi yan
hindi niya
nakakasama
dapat
doon sa kanyang
tanggalin na lang natin.
personal expenses.
Kaya
So,
hindi siya
setting the rate
siningilin
po.
ng Meralco. Kasi kung wala na siya, hindi na recognize, hindi naman hiningil ang Meralco. We're not blaming anybody here. Ang pinag-uusapan, saan ang gagaling yung system loss? Sa generation lang naman, tsaka sa transmission eh. If you do not recognize that, walang kukolektahin ng Meralco. Problem solved. Thank you po, Madam Chair.